This is our installation video for the Lighted Magnetic Hinge Covers. Now they're very thin. These will go over existing hinges. They got a magnet on the back and a light in the front. What you get is you're going to get a power tap for your particular game. And at the end of this video, we go into some different power taps, WPC, Stearns, Data East. But on our YouTube video, we have in-depth videos on all our power taps, so you can look at those. This is the power inverter. Your power is going to go from your power tap to the inverter. This is an extension. This is a 2-meter extension, so you can run it pretty much however you have to run it on your game. This is a splitter, and this will split to each of the 2 hinges, and then wire ties to secure down everything. The first thing you want to do is find on your game where you want to put your power tap. On this particular game, the Stearns Spike 2's power tap is going to plug right into here. Again, we have more detailed videos on this on our website. Next step is I'll install this and we'll put the next part in place. Now here the power tap is installed, and what we're interested in is the end of this, which is a 5.5 millimeter by 2.1 millimeter plug. This is a standard plug that you find on a lot of 12-volt applications. This is the inverter, and this end will just plug right into there, and then that goes through the inverter, and it's going to leave a plug to start extending to the hinges. Now on different games there's different sizes hinges, but this is what goes on there. Now this is a magnet, so it goes right on there, and this hole is for your pivot. So all you got to do is just line this up, and that's all that's involved in installing that. Now it's going to leave the wire. Now we need to get this wire to go back to our power. We'll go over that next. Now if you're working with a Spike 2, you want to make sure to close this for now. And on the back of the Spike 2 and a lot of other games, there's a bolt right here that secures the back box down on both sides. You want to remove that bolt. And one of the easiest ways to run this wire is if you tilt the back box a little bit, you can run the wire between your game and your back box. Now you won't be able to do that on all the games. That's probably your first choice if there's the space for it. And we're going to go over a couple other options that you have on some of the other games. Now another way you can run the wire from your power tap out to the outside of your game is through your subwoofer. Every game has a subwoofer. They're down in the game here, different areas, held in by a couple of screws. You can undo these screws, and then there's a grill, and you can take your 2-meter extension, and that can be run underneath the grill to the outside of your game. That's another way that you can run power to the outside. Now this is the back of a Stern Iron Man Sam game, and this is going to give you another way to route the wires. Now I would suggest going between the back box and the game or through the subwoofer first, but a lot of games have grills on the back, and these have a staple or 2 on the inside. These can be moved out and the wire can be run through here, and then some games even have grills up top here that you can access through. So that gives you 4 different ways that you're able to run the wires. Okay, so for our installation, we're going to choose to put it between the back box and the game. We lowered the head so you can see a little bit better. Now this is the wire. You can see it comes here from the hinge, and there's an opening there. Just take these wires and place them into the hole here. Get them a little tight, and you're going to want to do that on both sides. So I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to tilt the back box back up. Okay, now that the back box is back up, you want to go in and find the 2 wires that you ran through. Now sometimes these wires might have gotten caught in there when you raised up the back box, so you can tilt that forward a little bit and just pull them so they're nicely loose. Now you always want to secure down your back box, and if you remember at the beginning of the video we had 2 of these screws that we took out of the back. Now the game's also set up where it's got holes here to secure down the back box. Now we strongly recommend that you use the 2 holes here to secure down the back box than coming around from the back. Okay, now you have your 2 wires from each hinge, and coming off of your inverter you have your power wire. Now we suggest you secure down your inverter so if you're moving your game it doesn't move around. We have wire ties supplied that you could use, or Velcro. Now these just easily click right into place. You're going to want to use your 2-way splitter. So it's going to take the power from one and it'll click onto that hinge, click onto that hinge, and then we'll place the wiring in there. Now of course you want to clean that up later and just close up your back box, and let's see if we did everything all right. Okay, now we're going to turn on the game and see what it looks like. Now because we are photographing a light source, the colors don't always come out on the camera the way you see them by your eye. So let's just turn on the power, and there you go. They light right up. Thank you for watching our video on installing magnetic lighted hinge covers. The next 2 minutes we're going to quickly talk about different power taps for different games. So if you're familiar with the power tap on your game, you can just move forward on this video 2 minutes, and we have individual videos on each one of these power taps. Now, one of the main things I do want to talk about is that all our power taps are designed so you won't lose your plug on your game, and that's done by the Z-Connect. If you don't need the Z-Connect to save a port, don't use a Z-Connect because it'll leave exposed wires out. So enjoy the video. Spike 2 system, the wire tap's going to look like this. The Spike 2 system is easy to spot because it's a Stern liquid crystal display, or it's Ghostbusters or Game of Thrones. The location of where the Spike 2 power tap is going to go is it's going to plug in right here, and here's one that's already connected. Your Stern is not a Spike 2 or a WrestleMania or a Kiss, then it's going to be either a White Star or a SAM that uses a Molex plug. And a Molex wire tap is very simple. If you open up your coin door and you look right there, there's the wire tap. This is the wire tap and it's already installed. Now if you've never had a mod in your game before, you might have to reach up and find the wiring harness and bring it down, but it's going to be right inside your coin door. This is going to be a WPC wire tap. A WPC is a Bally Williams game, and it's easy to identify because you have to pull the wood panel up. The wire tap is going to plug into one of these plugs, and those are going to plug into the wire tap. This is a WPC 95 game, and they're easy to spot because it has a plastic speaker holder for the DMD. On this wire tap, it's going to plug into one of these 4. For a Data East or a Sega, it's a large 15-pin connector for your tap, and this is going to plug in right up here. Video on our photosensor relay. And what this is this is a relay that will turn on and off light as light is brought on and off to the photosensor. Now here we're using it to control one of our magnetic hinge covers, but it can be used in a lot of different applications.